We don't think he wants to be out here when it's in a storm. We don't want to be out here. He's here. He's probably. Are they? They're not walking down yet. And porta potty's coming in. See, Posniak, I told you I could have stayed. Yeah. I think we can do it without.
We got time though. I'm trying to get it in weather-wise. All right. Just keeping you informed.
I know.
Appreciate it. Of course.
I'll bring it over here. I think it looks ridiculous. Let's see the real. I think it's
Well, whoever put the stand out, thank you.
Sound check, mic check, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thumbs up, everybody good? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Well, if y'all need another one, just let me know. Ten, 9, 8, good. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're welcome.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. We are here to update you on the situation on the 700 block of East North Avenue. Last night, inspectors from the Public Works and Housing Departments declared the area unsafe after the storm this weekend. There are issues with the storm drain system that DPW is actively working to address, and we brought in outside contractors to help expedite the process. As you can see, DOT has blocked off traffic in both directions on North Avenue between Greenmount and Homewood. The sinkhole has comprised the structures of several properties along the 700 block, and therefore, as you can see what's happening behind us, we will need to demolish these properties as soon as possible. Thankfully, only one of the properties was occupied and no one was injured. We're going to work with that tenant to secure housing and replace personal effects that they are unable to retrieve. These are the only updates I have at this time. I will now let our agency heads share additional updates, starting first with our DPW Director, Jason Mitchell.
Thank you, Mayor Scott. Jason Mitchell, DPW. At about 1700 hours yesterday, we were notified of the potential sinkhole. We began to mobilize immediately with our departments from the Department of Transportation and Housing and Community Department to make the area safe, to ensure that all the utilities were off, and so that we could begin excavation. We've had to demo 3 houses. We have our water main stabilized. We work with our partners at BG&E to cut off the gas and electric. And right now, as you see behind us, our crews are excavating the 180-inch storm drain so that as we get rains, so that we can get our water flow and our storm pushed through the system. And so our crews has been working around the clock since yesterday to ensure that we can open that storm drain up. With that, I'm going to hand it off to my partner at the Department of Transportation, Steve Sharkey.
Good afternoon, everyone. Steve Sharkey, Baltimore City Department of Transportation. We've been working with DPW and the other agencies over the last 24 hours. We're working to continue lane closures or road closures. We're going to be adding a couple more signs and a couple more lights or light towers over here to increase lighting in the area. We're also working with MTA on future communications to make sure that the bus routes are properly communicated to the residents. Thank you. And Alice Kennedy, HCD, will come up next.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Alice Kennedy, Housing Commissioner, Department of Housing and Community Development. Our team has been on site since yesterday, working first building inspectors, doing evaluation and performing condemnation on a number of properties, actually starting at 716 and 718 as a precautionary measure for those 2 properties, and condemning, and then working with our partners at DPW, determining this morning that demolition needed to occur on 720 through 724, and demolition contractors have been out working since this morning on taking down those properties. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Deputy Chief Wallace from the Office of Emergency Management. I'm the director of the office. Since yesterday afternoon, when we were first requested, the Office of Emergency Management has had presence on scene. Our role here is to support our incident commander and assist with coordinating all city resources, as well as actions with the MTA through some of the bus route detours that are in place. Over the next 12 hours, the next operational period, we're going to be coordinating both on site, both inside the Emergency Operations Center. We'll continue to conduct agency briefings, as well as planning for any type of resource requests or any needs that may pop up during the course of the operation. Thank you.
And thank you. I also want to thank Councilman Robert Stokes for being here and being here consistently with his residents over the past 24 hours, and our city administrator for being here as well. Questions?
Can you give us some specifics?
Ma'am, sorry about that. You're fine, man.
Can you give us some specifics about the age of the pipe and where it fit in within the entire infrastructure of the area?
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Tim Wolf, Chief of the Office of Engineering Construction. It's a stone arch storm drain, like we said, 180 inches in size, about 15 feet wide. and it's about 115 years old. And so the condition, we actually had engineers in this morning upstream of the failure, did an assessment of the drain, and we're trying to evaluate what the situation is and come up with a remediation or repair as quickly as possible. So we mobilize engineering, contractors, our office as well. So that's where we are at the moment.
Can you also talk about what caused this in terms of what started all of this? We know that supposedly from the storm, but what other information do you have about that?
Well, we're still gathering information. We've gone in and done a thorough inspection. You know, it's 100 years old. Some of these facilities last quite a long time as far as conditions. So until we get the information, which we've gotten half of it this afternoon, once we clear out the material in the drain, we're going to go back in tomorrow morning and do assessment of the other half so we can determine what the cause was. But it's a significantly large drainage system, and generally the city does assessment of the drains over periods of time to make sure the condition's fine. So until we really get into it, it could be very localized that once you have a breach, it could, you get a failure in the immediate area.
Mayor, you talked about the tenants. What about the homeowners? What about compensation? What happens? What do they need to do now because of the situation after the homes that they own?
Yeah, housing will address it, but we have a process. I'll let Alice.
So, as DPW stated, the cause is being investigated, like the full cause and investigation needs to happen. And then, we have advised all of the homeowners to contact their insurance companies, and then they would also be working to see if there were to be a claim to be made, that would be, submitted. But we'd have to evaluate cause, insurance company, and then city's insurance company as well.
This is probably a question for Steve. I was wondering how long the roads are going to be closed after this.
Can you say that again, ma'am? We're sorry.
I was just wondering how badly is traffic going to be affected by the sinkhole?
Well, I mean, I can answer. It's North Avenue, right? So we know this is the main artery. It's going to be a severe traffic impacts, but the most important thing is the safety of the folks who are working to make the repair and for folks traveling.
How long is it going to be closed, Mayor, this whole area?
Well, we don't know yet, right? We have a lot of work going on behind us, and the most important thing is that we get this area safe and we get these things working in a proper function before we can think about reopening the road.
We're here to talk about city schools. Our questions are for you. Obviously,
You guys didn't ask the city schools questions at the city schools press conference this morning.
We were told that there was a timing issue. When I talked to Jack,
there was no timing issue. You guys didn't show up, so you're going to come where people are worried about an emergency of their homes being sank to ask you about that. Thank you, ma'am. You can ask me on the side and have some respect for these people whose houses are gone now from a storm drain.
Happy to ask you a question.